Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Sealeze number GG680CLA30BL. This is as you can see, a very large double row bristle style seal. Door sweep. Something this large is not for your typical sort of door. Hanger doors will use something like this. I've seen material like this installed on the absolutely outrageously large sliding doors that you would see in a elephant enclosure at a zoo, is where you'd see something like this. So the GG680 is a reference to the profile of this item, meaning that it will have this extrusion. It'll have a double row of bristles. It's typical for the bristles to ship loose. After you get your final installation done, you can just crimp the aluminum over to keep it from moving, which is common. Okay. Now, again, you'll use this in perhaps an unusual application where normal door sweeps are just completely inadequate. But you could also use this, this would be appropriate for a restaurant where you've got a loading door or perhaps an emergency exit, and that door literally is on the rear, let's say, alley side of a building, and that door just completely opens up to the alley, and there's really no sill at all because it's just a stoop. You might want something significant like this to help cover that up. You might have a very unusual floor condition that dips down significantly. There's no way to easily mitigate that without cutting concrete. Wherever you might use this, should the absolute large size and, incredible durability of Sealeze products suit, good for you. This is going to be available in different bristle lengths, and those are called out by different part numbers. This happens to be the 30, and the 30 in the part number. First of all, CLA means clear anodized aluminum. That's the aluminum, the finish on the aluminum. The 30 in the part number refers to the length of the bristle, and that is 3 inch. The height of the extrusion is 1 3/4 roughly. A little bit heavy on that. Okay. 1 3/4 roughly. It's a 32nd heavy on that. 3 inch on the bristle length. The bristle length can also change to some smaller material and to some larger material as well. Okay, according to the catalog, you're going to be able to get the same aluminum holder with, and their part number convention doesn't carry logically through, but you'll be able to get this in 1 3/4, 2.5, 3 inch and 4 inch. But that is on okay. Moving on to the rest of the catalog, it actually makes perfect sense, frankly. They are going to be available in past 4 inch. You're going to be able to do 5 inch, 6 inch, and 7 inch. Quite huge. And those larger ones you'll see on hanger doors, or doors that are exceptionally wide that have a normal sort of dip in the floor, sort of condition. So the 30 in the part number refers to 3 inch. Quite frankly, the easiest way is to click the link below this video to the manufacturer's page, pull up the manufacturer's product catalog, and then navigate to just where the GG680 is. You could perform a search function and find that, and then you'll see how the part number changes, the diagram of the different lengths. They don't show the diagram of the 5, 6, and 7 inch bristles, but those part numbers infer that to be available and accurate. The extended description below this video states, first of all, this happens to be a 24 inch piece. This will be available from 2 foot out to 8 foot in about 6 inch increments. Any custom length is certainly available. I believe this extrusion is probably starting out at about 14 feet The issue of anything longer than 8 foot is the cost to ship it, so reach out to us if you have a requirement of much longer pieces, which you likely could. Aluminum, clear anodized. The angle, they call it 180 degree. That just means when it's flat or flush to the face. This is a thermal brush, and in black, used to seal up to 3-inch gaps. The heaviest brush seals are their G series brushes, and not only incredibly durable, but also fire rated. Regarding the durability of this, that link to the manufacturer's page will have on it a video where it has been gone through the advantage of Sealeze brush, and especially their G series, because this is the heavy duty material, and all of the advantages as to why Sealeze nylon brush, and quite frankly nylon brush in general, is superior to every other sort of material, seal material. Why I like nylon brush is that if my fingers were to represent an irregularity in the floor surface, you can just see how well nylon brush really does at covering and contouring itself, to an irregular surface. You're not going to be able to get that sort of seal from neoprene or silicone or vinyl or other material. And quite frankly, you'll get large pieces of closed cell neoprene that might be out about 4-inch, but that material is really not appropriate, in my opinion, for a sliding application. Neoprene is not very good in terms of abrasion resistance, and nylon brush like this is certainly superior. This is going to include, as do all Sealeze items, it's going to include what they call self-drilling tech screws. These are specifically going to be a hex head style screw that will have a self-drilling point on the end, and that is exclusively the screw type that Sealeze uses. I personally am not a fan of self-drilling screws, and that's probably a reflection of my skill as an installer, because I don't make a living installing it. I like to carefully pre-drill the holes by hand and then insert, screws so that I don't have a walking of the bit prior to piercing into it. For me, there's no control using a self-drilling screw, but I am certainly in the minority of people who feel that way. Now, regarding the lengths, available in several different lengths, many different lengths. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Now the reasoning is, if you had to cut this 24-inch piece down to, well, this is a bad example, but the point is that that first slotted hole is about 1 inch off the end. If you had to cut 1 inch off, you'd eliminate that slotted hole. First of all, cutting this down, that's steel. Okay? You're going to want to be real careful not to try to run this through a miter box saw. You want to cut this by hand separately, and then crimp over the end, as Sealeze has this, so that you won't lose any bristle. And then this can be cut, in a miter box saw, a carbide tip saw blade, but that steel needs to be treated quite separately. That's far too large for, you might need a pipe wrench, not a pipe wrench, a bolt cutter for this. Or cutting it by hand with a hacksaw or a power tool meant for cutting steel. Anyway, if you ordered a custom length, we'd not only locate that first slotted hole at the proper distance from the edge, but the proper center to center as well. Okay, having those slotted holes from the factory are crucial. It really, in all instances of applying weather stripping, because you want to tailor the item so that it makes correct contact with the floor, the face of the door, the frame. The other door, if you're using it as door sweeps or astragals or perimeter gasketing, whatever the case is, and pre-drilling that hole, if not done quite carefully, the slotted hole helps compensate for the minute misdrill or the poor placement of a hole when you're using those tech screws, or if you've drilled the hole and not started out with a center punch. That link to the manufacturer's page below this video will give you lots of things to consider. All the products that we sell from Sealeze, number one. Number two, that link to the product catalog. Number 3, a link to that overview video discussing the advantages of Sealeze nylon brush. And then finally, a link to the manufacturer's website. If you have any questions on the Sealeze GG680CLA30 dual roll nylon brush gasketing, door sweep, or any other Sealeze product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.